Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing an update on my 8-week fitness challenge that I am a solid 7 days into. So this is my week 1, or is it technically week 2? Going into week 2 update. I have my little notebook that I showed you last week where I'm charting everything. I have my list of pros and cons going into this second week, how I felt about everything. So let's get to it. First thing I want is that it was way easier than I thought, but also way harder. And I know that probably makes no sense at all, but hopefully the way I break down these pros and cons, you'll totally understand. The biggest thing I will tell you is I already feel significantly better, and I will assure you that the contrast is not something like in my head. It's not like placebo effect. The kind of yuck feel that I felt from the diet that I was currently having of a lot of sugar and carbs just left me feeling gross, for lack of a better word. And so I, one, have way more energy. I don't feel the need for as much caffeine or sugar, which is probably one of my biggest problems coming into this. Adding creamer to my coffee and then wanting a sweet snack. I'm somebody that loves a dessert with dinner. Sugar, 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 sugar. And so having to cut all of that out was hard. Of course, I mean, gosh, man, I would kill for a good dessert every day still. But it already has made a huge difference. So week 1 is super, super, super strict on the diet plan, but it's called detox week for a reason. So it's not detoxing like the juice cleanse detox way. We're eating real food, and calorically, like calorie for calorie, I'm eating the same amount of calories I did before doing the fitness challenge. It's just I'm actually eating protein and vegetables versus sugar and carbs. So I honestly think my body is also just having to adjust to the like, what the heck is happening. I really think I have ate more vegetables in the last week than I have in probably the last 6 months. And I wish I was kidding on that. I really wish I was kidding. But another thing, a huge thing for me is I struggle with headaches associated with hormones, migraines, lack of caffeine and water, of course, all the things. And I did not have a single headache last week, nor a migraine. And that was a really big deal considering we had some bad thunderstorms that came through, and typically thunderstorms and the barometric pressure play a role and can trigger a migraine, but I didn't have one. And so that's a big win for me. I didn't even have the like detox hangover that some people feel like that they get, but because I wasn't in a season of severely overeating or severely addicted to sugar or anything like that, it wasn't anything too drastic. Like I didn't drink sodas going into this, or like I said, I'm still eating the same amount of calories, you know, between 12 and 1400 calories a day. So it's not too drastic in the sense of I completely flipped the switch, but it is drastic in what the switch is, you know, what those calories are. So I've also worn my Apple Watch for the first time 7 days in a row in like 2 years. So, I mean, that could be a pro, but I didn't write that down. So I'm just not used to getting all the notifications on it still. Another thing, I had carb coma, brain fog, whatever you want to call it, where by like the end of the day, I just felt not only like lethargic, but I felt like my brain could not think clearly. And just when I also compared it to, because he's feeling so much better as well from, you know, changing his diet, that we're able to go to sleep better. Like we're tired at the end of the day, like sleepy, but we're not like dead to the world. And so I guess lethargic is part of that. But I honestly just feel like my brain is computing faster. It's like, I don't know if it got an upgrade or what. I don't know how sugar plays a role in that, but I can tell a legitimate difference in how my brain is operating. And then the craziest thing to me, because I'm not eating bread or a lot of the like typical feeling things, is that I'm not as hungry. Like, I'm literally not as hungry. And so I don't know if that's because of the eating schedule of this. I don't know if it's because I'm actually eating food with sustenance and vitamins that are built into it. I'm not really sure what the science is behind it, but that's just personally how I feel and the results that's happening. There are just a few cons, and it's not cons in the sense of I wish the program was different or better, that kind of way, but it's like what's been hard about the week. One, I knew this going into it, and it wouldn't matter what plan I'm on, it wouldn't matter what exercise it is, it wouldn't matter what I was doing, but I genuinely don't enjoy making time to work out. Like if I have an hour to myself, you know, where I'm not having to worry about Zadie, and I don't feel guilty for taking family time away, anything like that, working out is just not it. Working out is just not how I'm going to want to spend it. So I knew that going in. I've struggled with that, not wanting to work out, not wanting to do the workouts. And not because I'm not good at working out, not because I feel totally out of shape, but just because I simply hate sweating. I hate feeling sore. I don't like the fact that when I sweat more, I have to wash my hair more. Like, it's the whole thing around it. Like, I really need to go do some like mindset work around the things associated with working out, because it's not the workout itself that I hate, it's all the things around it. So if you have any suggestions on any mindset work or anything like that that has to do with working out, let me know. I do hate con-wise we aren't doing dairy. Really miss being able to put creamer in my coffee and sugar in my coffee. I didn't put sugar in my coffee, but there's sugar in creamer or just in milk, even in almond milks and things like that. I really miss it, and so I can't do anything like that, and that's been really hard. And I'm not someone that puts a ton, like I don't need a super frou-frou coffee, but having to get used to black coffee to me kind of sucks the joy out of coffee, but I know that I need the caffeine, and I genuinely like the taste of coffee even by itself. It's just been a real adjustment. Also, drinking a gallon of water is so much. Like, it really is a lot to me. And so having to drink not only that much every single day is just, oh, sorry, that's my motorcycle, is daunting, because that's a lot. I also am having to retrain my body like I did in high school and college of not having to pee so often, because it drives me crazy to literally like every 15 minutes I'm having to go pee, and it's just annoying. It's an inconvenience. So it's a mindset shift that I'm having to make, that drinking water is good for me. It's not an inconvenience because it has to make me go to the bathroom. It all goes back to like being productive. If I had an hour to myself, I'm not going to want to spend it working. Working out, I'm going to want to spend it doing something productive like working. And so I've really just got to switch my whole mindset around the priority of working out and my own health, because that's just not in my nature at all. And then the last, kind of con is something I think that I knew going on in, and it's just more of having to put my blinders on, which is, the case with so many goals, is that I haven't lost as much weight as so many people who are doing this. But I have to remember that I didn't come in wanting to lose a ton of weight. I'm just a competitive person. So if someone says they lost 10 pounds, like, well, I want to lose 12 pounds. But I just know that if someone weighed 300 pounds coming into this, they've got more weight to lose. And I know that how they lose weight, how fast they lose weight is going to be much different than it is for me. And everybody is just simply different. So I'm sure you're wanting to know how much I've lost in this last week. And drum roll, please. I don't have a drum, but that's okay. I lost 2.8 pounds, almost 3 pounds, which I'm proud of. Like, that is a big deal. It's 2.8 pounds more than I would have kept carrying around. I'll say even more than having lost that, I can tell a big difference in how my body looks. I mentioned to you in the first video, I only weigh 1 pound more than I did in high school, and it just looks way different now. So like, my goal is like to feel better about how it looks. I'm already starting to feel better about how it looks, because I don't feel as, I don't know, bloated, or this might be a TMI, but like, I even was getting to the point where I was finding like little spots of like cellulite on my stomach. And so that is all already starting to see a huge difference. And I'm only down 2.8 pounds. And so I feel like, even though the weight loss is not huge, it's not anything crazy, if I keep it up, if I do between 2.5 and 3 pounds every time, each week, which is a very healthy amount to lose, because I know also statistically, you know, losing about 2.5 pounds a week is a sustainable amount to keep after the weight loss program is over. That 2.5 pounds to 3 pounds a week is going to put me at like 17 to 21 pounds by the end of this. That would be a huge deal. That would literally be insane. I have not weighed less than 157 since I was 14 years old, which is only, even from right now, 4 pounds away. So I just need to keep the perspective that I'm in my own race. I'm not competing against anybody else, and that this whole thing is for me, and I'm already reaping the benefit of it. So I've just got to stick to it. So my goals for this week is to hit the workouts harder, to stay, you know, more consistent with doing the extra credit, because I know, because I wasn't totally out of the loop going into this. I wasn't totally out of shape, or, you know, totally having to do a big change diet-wise. If I'm wanting to see the results by the end of this, you know, by the middle of May, that I gotta turn it up a notch. You know, I've got to put in that level of work. So that's my goal for the week. We'll see. I will post some pictures on Instagram, kind of an update, but I'm not going to measure again till the very end, just so it just takes a lot of time. That would overwhelm me to have to do that every week, but I will post photos and start to see if we see any difference. Well, friends, I hope that this was helpful. I hope you're enjoying following along with this journey. If you want to keep up with how things are going, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment about any questions you have about the program, and subscribe. Keep up with what I'm doing, and if you're in this challenge as well, we can cheer each other on. Bye, friends.